In 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Just looking at you in the truck is funny.
Are you good? Because you coughing like that was not like time wise. That kind of sucked.
Yeah, but
It's like welcome to FUBAR. Cough.
Looking at you, looking at yourself in the truck, like trying.
That sounds like a song.
Trying to be like.
That really does sound like a song. Like
That
looking
threw me
at
off.
you, looking at yourself.
Looking at you, looking at me. So I did a song one time. I forget how it went. Never mind. Doesn't matter.
Okay.
It will come back to me.
Will it come back to you?
Yes, it will eventually.
Okay.
My mind is in like alternate places, so right now
yeah.
it's not a good time for me to think about something I did a long time ago.
No, it would not be. So, welcome back to this the weekly awesomeness that we call FUBAR.
Friday.
So,
This one's gonna get intriguing.
this is gonna be. I will say this. It's like if you guys start watching this, share it to whoever the hell you want to share it to. Show it to your mom, to your brother, any person that ends up being a driver out here, especially the one at the company that you're at. Please share this because this is going to be an interesting live because we are going to get down and fucking dirty when it comes to this new pay situation. And with the new pay situation we are talking about is the new pay for the B seats on TNT. So this is by far, honestly, this is one of the biggest changes that I think that Prime has done in a while.
A while, yes.
So, and it's one of the
Since
bigger.
the last time we've changed the pay.
Well, but we didn't have a show the last time that they changed the pay. You know what I mean?
So since we've been afloat, this
Yeah.
is the biggest change they've made.
This is
not the biggest change I've seen.
No, this is a big change. So, man, if what has been put out to us, so we're starting the first essential week of it, right? So this is, when does that start? It starts in March, right?
It starts this payroll.
So this payroll that's coming up is a change to where you have the numbers on it. I am not a numbers person.
I have lots of different numbers. I have lots of different points. I have lots of different.
So the basis of this, basically, we're going away from we're still doing a 900 guarantee, but before we did the 900 guarantee, we can take them back a little bit. We had a $700 guarantee, the one that I came in on.
You know what we had before that?
500.
Yes.
So it's gone up sequentially, like the last every few years.
Like every job does.
Right, and exactly. So, but the difference with this one is whenever we jumped up to that $900, it was capped. So where it was capped initially to where you could not, whenever you're doing the 700 or the 500, you could have the opportunity to make more than the guaranteed amount.
Right.
So when 700, I had the opportunity to make more than the guaranteed amount, which I believe was on the trips. It wasn't. It was based on mileage, wasn't it?
Right. The biggest change here is the hourly rate to before.
Right.
So 700 was guaranteed. It was 14 cents a mile. Back when you came through, it was 14 cents a mile for a guarantee of 5,000 miles.
Right.
So that guarantee of 5,000 miles is what got you $700.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like anything you broke over 5,000, you made extra on.
Okay.
And it was at 14 cents a mile.
Okay. So this now they had changed it to where it ended up being it was 900 guarantee, and it was capped at that. No matter what your productivity was, it was capped at 900, and we've been that way for about almost 6 months to a year.
Longer than that.
How long? Okay, I'm trying to think how long we've been at the 6 month guarantee, or the 900 guarantee.
That happened pre-COVID, I think.
Was it pre-COVID? Because I'm trying to remember. Whoa, I'm double. I even asked myself that. Was it pre-COVID? When was it pre-COVID? But we're now doing it. It's been in
play for a while.
It has been in play for a while, but now there's been some things that have gone on in the courts. Especially, I think that this is stemming off of some of that to where you have the minimum wage in Missouri. So the minimum wage in the state of Missouri is $16 an hour for that, or the 16-hour work week, that kind of deal. This is some of this is stemming off of that. So now they're getting you have the numbers side of it. So if you want to go with that,
keep talking, because once I get going, it's gonna be hard to stop me.
Stop it. It's gonna be a
So from what I gathered from watching Jason this morning, you know what I mean, like, and all that.
So this is all this information. What we're putting out is the most current information of what we have put out per the safety meeting that goes on every Friday,
and some former digging, but some other digging did not lead me to what he had said, which is no matter what, they're guaranteed 16 hours a week. You know what I mean? Like, they're guaranteed 4 hours a day, and they're guaranteed that for 7 days a week. So that is a total of 28 hours on 7 days a week.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, and at $12 an hour, you know what I mean? Like, we get there. So they're guaranteed that and that's where the courts come in. So the 4 hours guaranteed on a daily basis was a necessity out of the 16-hour work week. You know what I mean? Like 16 hours a week and all of that. You know what I mean? Like, so that's where the 4 hours comes from, is from the courts and some litigation that we're not going to understand because nobody's going to tell us. You know what I mean? Like, they're going to stay away from explaining the courts and the lawyers' decisions on why they're paying us or why that 4 hours is mandatory. And I'm sure if you do some digging, you know what I mean? Like, you'll be able to find it.
Right. So if we want to I have the breakdown of what it actually is, what we're talking about.
I think theirs is poorly done. So I feel like we should. I grasp it. I understand what's happening. You know what I mean? Like, I've talked to many internal sources about what it is. You know what I mean? Like, and I feel comfortable. You know what I mean? Like, relaying that information.
So basically, each B seat is going to be paid at the $128.57 a day.
Yes.
With any total productive hours over 10.7 hours is going to be paid at $12 per hour. So that there is getting. Now you're gonna push productivity. I think that's what they're really trying to do, is where you're getting paid for what you do.
So it starts with the productivity aspect of it. You know what I mean? Like, the productivity aspect is first and foremost. So they are guaranteed 10.7 hours, which is 128 hours a day, which is a total that total will bring you to $900 a week guaranteed.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, so as far as that is concerned, none of that has changed. You're still going to have to pay them the $900 a week, no matter what. You know what I mean? Like,
and when we say you're going to have to pay them, we're talking about when it comes to
as a lease operator. As a lease operator, because that's mainly the people that are going to gripe about this, which is fine. You know what I mean? Like, that's
honestly,
what we're
the
here
company
for.
side, we don't really have very much to gripe about, because it really doesn't necessarily come out of our pocket. The company,
by definition, no, but it does. You know what I mean? Like, that's why your cents per mile is lowered. You know what I mean? Like, is to compensate for what you're paying the co-driver. You know what I mean? Like, it just so happens to be equal out to be the same math. You know what I mean? Like, but that's neither here nor there. We're talking to most lease drivers is what this is coming about. So it's going to be $900 no matter what. That's stayed the same. That's not changing. You know what I mean? Like, productivity, the increase of productivity will earn the student more.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, and that's where you are. So basically, you're paying them $12 an hour, and you're guaranteeing them, you know what I mean? Like, basically 75 hours a week.
Right.
Is what it boiled down to. But that's off of a 47-hour work week. You know what I mean? Like, plus the guaranteed 28 hours.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, so that's 47 hours plus the 28 hours that they were given automatically for free, which is that extra 4 hours a day.
Right. Now, the reason why we're really kind of putting this out, because this, a lot of it you could say is really self-explanatory, but then as we all know, the social media side of things really starts to blow things out of proportion. So whenever you have people that are going out onto Facebook, and this is why one of the reasons why we're doing this through Facebook as well right now, is they're putting out this like, oh, I'm gonna stop training because I'm not gonna pay a trainee $1,500 a week.
From doing the math, it is impossible for you to pay them $1,500 a week.
And the thing is, the 900 obviously, but the thing is, dude, and we're looking at on average how much is a lease operator being paid when they're doing when they're doing a TNT with a student. You're getting well over, some of them are showing $6,000 a freaking month. I'm sorry, $6,000 a week.
Right. And the average that was given to us through that was the average is $3,600.
$3,600.
But again, doing the math, right? Worst case scenario, not even calling you, not even saying anything about you people, right? We're going to say, because remember, it is capped at a 16-hour workday.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, so the most amount of hours you would have to pay them on a daily basis is 16 hours.
Right.
Now, let's just say they made that 16 hours, you know what I mean? Like 7 days a week. For that, that's 112 hours. You know what I mean? Like, so now when you take that 112 hours and you multiply that by $12 an hour, and you equal that out, the maximum amount of money you would have to pay them on a weekly basis is $1,344. It is impossible to have to pay them more than that because the hours are capped at 16.
And the fact too, if you end up getting that amount, if that student ends up being paid that amount one week, that next week you ain't getting that.
Right, they're going to probably be at the guaranteed of none.
Exactly, because now you're running into issues when it comes to your hours of service. So now you're going to end up having your recaps. You're not running on recaps. You're basically maxing out your clock.
You're done. Because in order to get to 16, you had to work 12 hours that day anyway.
And you're going to have to end up doing a rolling reset.
Right. But with that being said, for you people that are saying, I'm not paying my trainee $1,500 a week, the answer to that is you would never have to pay them $1,500 a week. The maximum amount of money that student can make is $1,344, based off the fact that they cannot earn more than 16 hours in the day.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, they cannot go past 16. You know what I mean? Like, in 16 hours at 7 days a week is 112 hours. 112 hours times $12 an hour is $1,344. So for anybody saying I'm not paying my trainee $1,500 a week, congratulations, you would never have to.
And at the end of the day, you're going to. So I mean, if this is gotten kind of ridiculous when it comes to the side of it, when it came to the lease side, saying that, it's putting out all of this negative information, putting out basically, because as much you're going to influence some of these people.
And it's unfortunate because you are making this up. So again, if you paid attention, right, and you go into the detail of what you read, it said they cannot be paid more than 16 hours on a day. You know what I mean? Like, so even if they were on duty for 14 hours, they're only getting 2 hours of the 4 hours they were promised.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, because you worked a 14-hour day. You know what I mean? Like, so with that coming through, you're only getting 16 hours a day. You know what I mean? Like, at 7 days a week is 112 hours times $12 an hour, still comes out to $1,344. You know what I mean? Like, and so with that being said, like, don't misspread information. Be wise about what you're saying. Don't just come out here and say things because you want to say them to throw a negative aspect. Like, if I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong. You know what I mean? Like, but don't sit here and tell me that, I'm not paying them $15. Good, because you don't have to.
Right.
And the most you would ever have to pay them is $1,344.
The thing about it too is that you're wanting, and we talked about this before the live. You're wanting your cake and eating it too. Like that. That is exactly what you're wanting. So the thing is, how much money this is extra. So this is going over that 900 guarantee. The reason that you're going to be going over the 900 guarantee is because you've been productive. You're going to be making more.
Right.
So if you make more, honestly, in a fair society, you're going to want to kick down a little bit more. So the thing is, we also have TNTs out there that will end up paying a little bit under the table to their trainees. Not all of them, but now guess what?
Nor was it your responsibility to do so.
It wasn't your responsibility, but now guess what? You can claim this crap on your flipping taxes because it is earnings, it is flipping. You can actually claim all this crap at the end of the fucking year, but no, you're going to want to bitch, moan, and complain about this crap whenever you're getting that money back.
So it's funny because you say flipping instead of fucking a lot.
But then I also say fuck.
But it's funny only because when we go to Arkansas and pick up those boats, the name of the town is Flippin'. So as you just said that, it made me think of the Flippin' Police. Anyway, sorry. This is serious shit.
This is some serious shit.
But look, I think it was accurately said by Jason this morning. Mm-hmm. You took a risk. So as a lease operator, understand that is your business. That is your LLC. Yeah. That is your company. That is your brand. You know what I mean? Like, productivity is a necessity. We have to take care of people no matter what. You know what I mean? Like, Prime is a business and an entity with its own regard. You know what I mean? Like, so when you come to Prime and you decide to lease a truck, you've decided to operate under your own business.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I've decided to start a business and I'm going to lease this truck and pursue my business career.
Right.
So you decided to run into an adventure with that with Prime Inc. You know what I mean? Like, but never be confused. You are not the same company.
Right.
You are your own company. Now you're running under their authority. For people who are not, oh, we have a ticker.
Motherfucker's been there.
Sorry, I just saw the ticker. Why is yours so dark and mine so light? That is some BS. So
man. the way I had to put it in there, my name and my code is the title, and the description is yours because I can't put it all into the to where it actually there's a character amount.
Justin's getting screwed on the ticker. Just saying.
Make it go viral.
Anyway.
Fuck it. I don't care.
Anyway, so for those that don't know, when you come here and you decide to lease a truck, you know what I mean? Like, you've decided to open your own business. Now, I don't care if you come here to Prime. I don't care if you go to Schneider. I don't care to go to Swift. I don't know why you would go to Swift. But if you chose to go there and lease a truck from Swift, you no longer work for Swift. You work with Swift. Mm-hmm. You work with Schneider. You work with Prime. And not to just leave out any big company because I'm not a hater. You would work with JB Hunt. When you decide to lease a truck at any company, wherever company, and whatever company you might be with, you mean like you've decided to enter into your own business atmosphere, and you are now you're in conjunction with the company that you are at. You know what I mean? Like, so as a lease operator, that is your business. So through this business, you've decided to escalate your income, and you're able to do that by one of two things. You know what I mean? Like, you're able to hire me. You know what I mean? Like, who is going to demand a high outcome of money, pretty good at what I do, so I'm going to charge for it.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, or you can take on this minor bit of a headache, you know what I mean? Like, and you can watch, and you can take on a trainee. Now, a trainee is going to be at a much cheaper cost than Justin, you know what I mean? Like, but he does come with some headaches. I got to teach him some things. You know what I mean? Like, but sharing my information, you know what I mean? Like, with a trainee, shouldn't be like that isn't easy. So you're basically, I get you at a cheaper cost, and all you want is to pick my brain. Yep. You know what I mean? Like, and for me to show you what we're actually doing here. You know what I mean? Like, which is not a bad thing to do. You know what I mean? Like, so in a business transaction, I'm gonna hire the cheaper person who just needs the knowledge of my brain because that's pretty efficient, and I like sharing information anyway. I'm a little chatty, if you haven't noticed by now.
A little bit.
Now, yeah, look, see, chatting with myself. So, you know what I mean? Like, I've taken on that operation. I have come through the place, and I've decided to take on this trainee. Now, at this point, previous history up until this moment, they were being paid $900 guaranteed no matter what it was they did. Now, if we had a productive week and a really good week, I'd want to incentivize them a little bit, give them a little under the table, and for those that are watching, which I don't know how many of you are actually lease people that might be watching, but you know what I mean? Like, there's so many different ways you can take advantage of this. And I feel like sometimes maybe we've let you down as a company, you know what I mean? Like, to make you understand. incentivizing is a positive notion. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you're going to get higher productivity and happier employees from a dude who used to own his own company. You're going to get happier employees when you incentivize them to do more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and so if you incentivize them to get somewhere that they need to plateau to, then you should obviously, you know what I mean? Like you're going to get that productivity because they have a goal to reach.
Because one of these jobs, this is one of the only jobs, and this is a representation of that. This is one of the jobs you get out of what you put into it.
Yes.
So it's only, honestly, this is only fair. And this goes out to anybody that's actually wanting to come into Prime as a PSD or wanting to get their license. This is the best thing, honestly, for you.
Yes.
Like this is,
but
this
I don't think it's students
favor.
I don't think students are complaining.
The students aren't complaining.
It's the lease drivers that are complaining.
And the thing about it is, you're complaining, and a lot of these guys are going on Facebook and they're complaining. How good are you representing the company?
But and again, you feel violated, right? Like Prime is trying to rip you off. But again, Prime isn't trying to rip you off.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, you want a good employee. You need to incentivize said employee. We've incentivized them with an hourly rate. Sometimes laws, rules, and things change. So you have to adapt to the new laws and changes and things like that.
Right.
So part of this is probably a part of that. 100% understanding of why this has happened
Right.
is not gripped.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, but 100% understanding of what's happening is. And I can say for productivity wise, they are trying to incentivize students to be able to go further, to do more. You know what I mean? Like, and that is positive for your pocket as well. So we did some math. You know, when I say we, I say me. I mean me, even though I say we, because this is a representation, because whose name's the biggest on the ticker? So the average student, like we all know, man, like if you run about 900 miles a day,
Yes.
you know what I mean? Like you're going to get about 500 miles out of that day.
Yes.
If you do that for 7 days,
Yes.
you will have run 3,500 miles.
Yes.
Now I know this is unrealistic and we're looking at the max output of everything that you do.
There's a reason why that says sometimes you can average around 500 miles a day, but the thing is, the days you have some days you're going to have less because whether it be weather, delivering, receiving.
Man, pick up, like every day you drop off, guess what you got to do? Pick up. What does this do? Take time out of your 14.
Exactly.
So but we're looking at the max.
Unless you get one of them long loads going from going from freaking New York City to like Hawaii.
So I feel like 500 miles a day is a good average to say. It's a 9-hour day. You know what I mean? Like,
yes.
If you average 500 miles a day for 7 days a week, you know what I mean? Like, that's a 3,500 mile week.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, on that 3,500, for those that are complaining, on that when that trainee upgrades to their own truck, they will be making 50 cents a mile on a full-size truck.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, so 50 cents. So what was the magic number I told you was the max amount of money they could pay?
There was 13,000.
$1,344.
$1,344.
Right. That is the magic number. Keep that number in mind. Because
1344.
if that driver was to do the same thing on his truck, you know what I mean? Like at 50 cents a mile for 3,500 miles, that student, now driver, would have made $1,750. So out of the maximum you could pay them, they are shorted $406 for their productivity if they were doing it on their own. You know what I mean? Like, so they are being cut off $400 and something. You know what I mean? Like, based upon their productivity that they created for you if they were on their own. But they're not able to be on their own because they need your knowledge. So they are basically paying you $400, like $404, I think I said, because it's $1,750 and $1,344. So $406 is what they're paying you on a weekly basis to pick your brain. If you want to look at it about who's getting screwed, let's look at it on who's getting screwed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that student could have made more money on their own, making the same productivity as they would on your truck.
And this at the same time, I believe that lease operators, don't they get a fuel bonus or they don't get the fuel bonus?
No, the fuel bonus goes straight into their pocket.
Right. Fuel bonus. Team bonus?
No.
I don't know.
Every bonus for a lease driver goes straight into their pocket.
Straight into their pocket. Not to the student, nothing like that. It goes straight into their pocket. So we're complaining. I say we. They're complaining about all this stuff, and honestly, it's just like, and then they're like, "Well, then we're just not going to train." Honestly, we don't need you then.
If this is going to affect your outcome of being a trainer or not, are you really training? Are you really the person training? Because, and again, everything is about perception, how you perceive it.
Yeah.
Like I said, you look at it like you're going to be paying out. The guarantee is 900. The maximum they can make is 1344. So that's that's $444 more, and that's on the maximum of what you have to guarantee to pay them.
Now, I want to tap into this side of it. So we've had the primary.
Look at us, we're holding things now.
Yeah.
We're pointing at you, fool. I mean business when I'm holding the pen.
Every one of you, majority-wise, came through the PSD program and you went through TNT. You're going to sit there and you're going to tell me that you wouldn't have wanted to have this opportunity to make this money whenever you're a TNT, but no, you're going to bitch about it now that you're the one that's ended up having to pay it because you chose to actually go into business for yourself and to be a lease operator. The thing is about it comes with a risk.
Right. You guys love flossing your paychecks on this company, dude.
Exactly. So
now all of a sudden that paycheck ain't nothing?
Exactly.
You get on some dirty nonsense. Now all of a sudden that paycheck you ain't got that?
Shit.
You ain't got that? Because as a company, dude, I'm still good.
Yeah.
I mean, if we're going to go down that road, get on my dirty real quick.
So the thing about it is too is like, so you want to bitch and moan and complain about it? Company's not going to be bitching and moan and complain about it. Why don't you just go to company then? Why don't you just go ahead and just let go of all that just because of, I don't want to pay them over the 900 guarantee, which these are the same people that started bitching whenever they made it the 900 guarantee.
Right. And I'm gonna be honest with you. I did the math we did the math as well. You know what I mean? Like when I say we, I mean me. But it's our show. Again, his name is bigger than mine on the ticker. Just saying.
You have 1344 max after your name.
So,
see,
the reality is that student is probably going to drive.
Look at it.
The reality is that student will probably, a good student is going to drive you 10 hours a day. You know what I mean? Like, that's about 9 hours of driving and about an hour of on-duty time. You know what I mean? Like, looking at that, that's how we got to the 500 miles a day anyway.
Yes.
So you figure about an hour of on-duty time, 9 hours of drive time. Right. You know what I mean? Like, plus the 4 is going to put you at 14.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, so that's 14 hours a day. On a 7-day work week is...
I don't do math.
1176. So you're only really on a decent average, you're only really paying them $1,176 on average, which is only $276 more. But for those hours that he was able to run, did he not earn you extra money? And if he's not running those hours, that's a bigger deal. And again, like I think it was addressed this morning, watching the video, it was addressed this morning, like these students are going to take advantage of, you know what I mean? Like they're going to do 30-minute, you know what I mean? Like pre-trip and post-trips. Mm-hmm. Well, my friend, you are going to hurt your own feelings. For number one, for the student, you're going to hurt your own feelings if you do that because you're going to run out of hours very quickly. And I personally, even as a lease driver, would let you do that. You know what I mean? Like, so you maxed out of your money sooner than later, and now you can't do shit. And I'm going to make sure the fleet manager knows as well that, hey, he's not running this trip because he doesn't have any hours. So let's make sure this trip doesn't count towards his $50,000 since he has no productivity to what we're doing. I still have to pay him, we'll say that 1176 or even the max of 1344. You know what I mean? Like, and I'll pay you that, but I'm not going to let you get to your 50 any quicker when you can't be productive for me. You know what I mean? Like, that's one. That's how I would handle that situation. Number two, if you're a student that's doing that, fuck off, dude. You know what I mean? Like, and again, the idea here is for you to educate yourself on how to get to where you need to be. Right. And if I do my productivity, you know what I mean? Like, I'm destined to make decent money. You know what I mean? Like, and understand this. You want to take advantage of the moment for the moment that it is, then forget about your future. Because your future doesn't hold anything for you. Because that's the habit you're creating is a 30-minute post trip.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, so you're going to do a 30-minute post trip every day? You know what I mean? Like, get out of here, dude. Make it up. You know what I mean? Like, learn what you need to do in order to do what you need to do. You know what I mean? Like, and again, I don't see where Prime doesn't hold that student accountable for what they're doing. You know what I mean? Like, they said today it's a 15-minute post trip. You know what I mean? Like 15 minutes for the post-trip inspection. You know what I mean? Like that's not too bad.
No.
Running some numbers here. Because somebody did ask this question, so I wanted, just wondering. You know what I mean? Like if they spend 15 minutes a day times 7 days, you know what I mean? Like that's 105 minutes. So 105 minutes is divided by 60.
So it's an hour and...
That's an hour, 1.75 hours a week. You know what I mean? Like 1.75.
So an hour and a half.
I gotta write that down.
So an hour and 3/4 a week.
Right, an hour and 45 minutes.
Yep.
1.45. So we'll even make it easy for math. 2 hours. You know what I mean? Like, so that's per week times 52 weeks because that's what Mr. Mann wanted to know.
Yep.
52 hours, 52 weeks. So that's 91. You know what I mean? Like that's 91 hours a week, a year, times 12, 91 for the year. Times $12 an hour, $1,092 a year you would pay a trainee for 15 minutes a day of post trip. You got a problem with a student? You got a problem paying multiple students, not a singular, multiple students. You know what I mean? Like $1,092. Basically, we'll call it $1,100.
Yep.
You got a problem paying a student $1,100 to make sure your truck don't fuck up while you're driving down the road? Okay, dude, have that problem.
So
You know what I mean? Like, because you're going to have a bigger problem when he gets pulled into the scale house with a broken ass truck.
100%.
Or you get pulled into the scale house.
So I know
How much you paying yourself to do a post-trip inspection every day?
We've been ignoring some of the comments, but we wanted to get that kind of off our
Sorry.
chest. So Seymour Titties.
And tell more people to bring it, like he said, tell a friend to tell a friend. Tell them to come on into the chat. You know what I mean? Like, and we'll chop this up, man. I'm not here to play around. You know what I mean? Like, I got numbers. We can have a discussion. If I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong. I'll tell you where you're wrong. Let's go.
Exactly. But you're just going to be
They
wrong.
They should have brought me in to save Jason.
So it says, Seymour TTs, which would be Timmy Turbo.
Hey! Oh gosh, yeah, that's right. He's in on
He's
that
changing
whole.
his freaking name. It says,
So proud of you, bro.
If you're working, they should pay minimum wage. That's the reason there's a minimum wage. No one should work for free. Period. I agree. So the thing, it's like it wasn't necessarily that they were working for free, but
Right.
it was more so of a hard, very low salary, if you will, not being able to do any kind of overtime. And he said even training. I 100% agree.
But in the same breath, I'd like to put this out there as well. In the same breath, though, I feel like the 900 at this point, I would have liked to seen it go back to 800 a week, guaranteed, and giving them more options to get up. You know what I mean? Like, so as they increase their service, because they're guaranteed the 900, whether they do this or not, that student is guaranteed the 900. So I don't even have to work that hard. I'm still going to make the 9.
Right.
So I'll do the, you know what I mean? Like, because if I drive 5 hours, they give me 4. You know what I mean? Like, that's 9, but they guaranteed me the 10.7.
Right.
So, like, I feel there should be a negative consequence for not being meeting the production of value of what we guaranteed.
100%.
You know what I mean? Like, and that's including their 4 hours. So
I agree.
So there should be a negative consequence to the student as well, I feel, and there should be more production. The more the production occurs, the you know what I mean? Like, I feel like they kind of made this basic. I would have liked to make it more complicated to make it so the student was really incentivized to actually get to a point. But that's just me.
100%.
Because I like the TTs.
So, next one, TTs said, I thought they paid minimum wage by state that you live in. They pay it by the state that the company is in on that one.
Yes.
So it has to go based on Missouri's minimum wage, which is $16 an hour.
But we're not even reaching that.
No, we're not. So it's kind of weird.
I don't know if that's the minimum wage because the daughter gets paid minimum wage and it's not 16.
They just upped it. So it's, hold on. We're going, Google it.
Well, just skip on to the next comment.
Hashtag Google it.
Lawyers have said this was okay, so there's no sense in sense in Googling it.
Okay.
The lawyers
So-
said this was good. That seems like a waste of time right now.
So
The lawyers have co-signed this, so
the way it sounds is that the guarantee hasn't changed, but a chance to make a little more and verbiage is all that changed. Yeah, well, in his way, there's still a guarantee, but
right. The guarantee is 900, and we showed you how that guarantee was made. That's where the verbiage comes in,
right?
You know what I mean? Like I said, at the 700, it was at 14 cents a mile, guaranteed at 5,000 miles,
right?
You know what I mean? Like that's verbiage of how we got to that.
Right.
Regardless, it was still guaranteed to you. You know what I mean? Like whether you understood that or not, all you needed to understand was 700 was coming in my pocket. Right. There was a number on this before that was guaranteed. You know what I mean? Like they came up with that figure by mathematical equation,
right,
which nobody cares about. I'm just making my 9. So we're telling you how the 9 was guaranteed. You know what I mean? Like, and then explaining to you how that's going to carry over. Because like I said, when you broke 5,000 miles at 700, when you broke 5,000, you were paid 14 cents a mile for every mile you ran over 5,000 miles.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, so that is how we're just explaining the breakdown. The verbiage is the breakdown of how the money actually works.
Peg Leg says, how long is that bridge to Hawaii? It goes under the water.
Yeah, it's a tunnel. It's not a bridge.
Not a bridge.
If it was a bridge, you would be able to see it on Google.
Exactly. And
goofball kind of shit.
And the Chinese spy satellite would have seen it.
Yeah, we can't let them know we have
exactly.
that.
We didn't get that crap.
The Japanese made us build it.
Yeah, facts. We had to get over there quick. We thought they were trying to get over there, have some surf time. Like, no, we ain't about to have that, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Says Seymour Tinchi says, I wouldn't want to be on that trainer's truck any longer than I had to be there. I better not be on a trainer's truck for a year. I agree, but there's some of them that end up being, now some of them are there for a longer period of time, but usually that's because that they're related to that person, or it was their best friend that came in.
Or it's a working, right? I mean, like a lot of students, like I have one student presently that's on his trainer's truck, and his trainer made him an offer that was just stupid to turn down. You know what I mean? Like,
couldn't refuse, but he's in the mafia?
That's why I didn't say an offer he couldn't refuse. I said an offer that was stupid to turn down. You know what I mean? Like, they're not in the fucking mafia. They're in a truck. You know what I mean? Like, but he offered him good guaranteed money no matter what happened.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, they were running, they had a dedicated line. You know what I mean? Like, and the only way that dude could stay on the dedicated line was by, you know what I mean? Like, training or teaming. Right. So instead of training another one, he just kept him, offered him really good money, guaranteed. You know what I mean? Like, no matter what we do, this is what you're going to make a week, which was stupid money. You know what I mean? Like, but the loads were paying, so it made it available for him to be able to pay that.
Right.
So, you know what I mean? Like, it was kind of foolish for him to turn it down, and I understand why he, you know what I mean? Like, it screws up my upgrade bonus, but I understand why he did it, too.
Right.
And I ain't really mad about the money. Don't care. I make plenty of it. So,
yeah.
Not enough. You know what I mean? Like, wife would say not enough right now, but... So she would tell your ass to come back and upgrade, Colton. You know what I mean? Like, what? You know what I mean? Like, do what's best for you as a student. You know what I mean? Like, or as a driver, you have to do what's best for you.
Right.
And so he's doing what's best for him. You know what I mean? Like, that was, like I said, when he told me the number, I'm like, well, yeah, you can't not turn. Because, you know what I mean? Like, so.
So now that we've had our veggies.
Those are our veggies?
That was the veggies.
Oh, wow.
So the thing is, we've talked all the way, because the thing is, we've talked about the whole pay situation. We do not want to just spend an entire live talking about how much bullshit, like blah, 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 and everything like that. It's the end of the week, man. We're end of the week. Work's done for most people, not for us.
My work is never done.
Yeah. So
the world depends on me to build drivers. Shit. Who am I to let them down?
Right. So let's talk about this. So we have no more football right now, right? Or do we?
I am not paying attention to football. That is not the NFL, no.
So right now they do the XFL. People...
Yes. Fuck you, Rock.
So the XFL right now has actually done a lot better than what I actually thought it was going to be.
Not enough to make me watch.
Why?
I don't know.
Just it seems like it's a personal opinion that you don't want to watch.
Not really. Just a lot of shit going on.
Right.
I already watched one. Like, it's the same thing, dude. I can't pay attention to college or anything because there's too many of you fuckers.
Right.
So once we start divvying this shit out, like, I'm just lost. So I can't, like, I don't watch baseball. They play too much. You know what I mean? Like 100 some odd fucking games.
120 some odd games a year.
I got shit to do during the week. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have time to be paying attention. Same with basketball. Y'all play 86 games a year. You know what I mean? Like, in your little league. Like, I can't be paying. Now, imagine there was another league on top of that I don't have time for all this shit, man. Like, yeah. I just don't. Like, the NFL has my attention. You know what I mean? Like, I guess for show purposes, I can pay attention to the XFL.
So,
but hell, I barely watch the NFL, man. I watch the highlights on YouTube.
What's really good
More
cool
than I watch
is
the
that
game.
with this XFL deal, right? There is the opportunity that these guys can actually be going to the combine and get drafted into the NFL. They can be traded. They can be drafted from the XFL.
Right, because he struck a deal with the NFL.
Yes. So I mean, this is in a way that it has something to do with the NFL.
It's the new minor league, is what it is.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, so hey, because that's where Tyler Heineke
yeah.
came from, was from the NFL, XFL.
XFL.
Right. Tyler Heineke came from there.
So I mean, this is, and some of these games that I've seen some highlights of them, and I mean they're pretty damn good games. I mean, they've gone down to the wire. You're not getting right now. You're not getting a lot of the people to watch it because I think that the previous XFL kind of put a bad taste in some people's mouths. That you had, like, people were able to make up their name, and you had more of the wrestling side of it to it because it was ran by a CEO of a wrestling company of WWE, Vince McMahon.
It gave it more freedom. You know what I mean? Like when the original XFL came out, I watched that shit. You know what I mean? Like, because those cats were out to play. You know what I mean? Like, big hits got you money. You know what I mean? Like, for all you people that love the UFC and all that other shit and think fucking, you know what I mean? Like, these NFL players are taking a risk. You know, like, tell them to step in a fucking cage, bro. Shut up. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, so that's what you tune in for, is the big hits and all that. You know what I mean? Like, so, like, it was, these NFL players are soft. But the NFL has done a very good job at making you concerned about these people's health. You know what I mean? Like, to be honest, I'm concerned about my health. I'm concerned about your health. I don't give a shit about them dudes. You know what I mean? Like, they making way more money than me and you combined, and we make pretty good fucking money. So you get paid to put your body on the line. Like, it's not, again, same as a lease driver, right? Not my fault. You decided to step up and get that check.
As a truck driver, dude, we get paid to put our bodies on the line because, I mean, we tend to...
I've been run over a couple times. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, like, by definition, man, I ain't making millions of dollars to fucking get hit by trailers and shit. You know what I mean? Like,
you should have got paid
from not my student. You know what I mean?
You
Like,
should have got paid millions of dollars.
I should have. I should have shut down the whole damn program, but I didn't. You know what I mean? Like, because I'm a man. I took my hit and I moved on. You little crybaby. Anyway,
he moved on very slowly.
But I think they learned, and I think because they have the backing of the NFL, so if the NFL has made it available for these cats to be able to move up to the game. You know what I mean? Like, so they're probably getting paid minimal dollars. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, but they have an opportunity by showing progress that they can move up in the game. That means that the NFL has been constructed with them. I think the NFL is using them as guinea pigs for new rules.
Right. I think the management is so much better with the XFL than what it was previously with Danny Garcia running it. The Rock also running it, because Rock's not the CEO of it. Danny Garcia is. So you have better leadership. I think it's all around. I think it's going to be better than what it was. Give it a couple of years, or maybe even
But that's the problem, though, is that, you know what I mean? Like, and this is where the NFL comes into play. You know what I mean? Like, the problem is they can't afford to give it a couple of years. You know what I mean? Like, the interest has to be in it, or otherwise. But the NFL will give them the opportunity to allow it to develop. So they're probably receiving money from the NFL to keep this program afloat.
I wouldn't.
You know what I mean? Like,
because I mean, hell,
because it is good.
As a Niner fan, I would love to have a minor league. That way, we can pull more fucking quarterbacks out of it. That'd be great. That way, if we get hurt, we have a farm team. I want the farm team.
But that's the positive. That's the positive notion of, like, that's the fun of the game, though. You know what I mean? Like, is that you have to stay healthy. That's part of the. You know what I mean? Like, that's why I understand baseball's longevity. Right? Like, it's, can you stay healthy? Can you make a team progress for 100 and something games? That's part of the game plan. That's the same in the NBA. Like, hey, anybody can play 15 fucking games, dude. You know what I mean? Like, but can you make it through 86?
When you have a bullpen with full, like, when you have a bullpen.
Right, but they're limited. They're limited to how many they have, the rotation, how they play. Then you mean, like, and again, like, dude, throwing a. We went bowling last night for the daughter's birthday. What was the first thing you told me this morning?
I'm sore.
Yeah. Them dudes got to throw, what, 80 pitches a fucking game?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you throw a ball like 30 times maybe?
That ball is a lot heavier than that baseball.
Right, but they're whipping it way faster than you were whipping that big-ass ball.
Yeah.
So,
They're also not as fat as I am.
Right, but I'm just saying, like, that's a real thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, your arm gets tired. Your arm, you know what I mean? Like, so they can't throw, and they're playing like every other day. You know what I mean? Like, so they're not getting a lot of rest in between games. So I understand why the game, like, why there's so many games and this and that.
Right.
But that's part of the can you keep your quarterback alive is part of the conquest of winning the NFL.
And in order-
you guys could not do that.
We could not.
That's because
so-
you put George Kittle on like one of the baddest defensive linemen in the game.
So it says, Peg Leg says, is that tunnel related to the Yellow Submarine?
That we all live in?
I live in a little yellow submarine. Is that
We all live in a yellow submarine.
This is not Tune In
a
Tuesday.
Submarine. A yellow submarine. We all live in a yellow submarine.
And
A yellow submarine. A yellow submarine.
So, no. So Seymour
It might be
Titties-
related to the yellow submarine as long as it was an itty bitty teeny weeny yellow polka dot bikini.
So Seymour Titties says, I follows the draft and trade. I follow the draft and
Follows.
trade.
I like the first version.
So I follows the draft and the trade. So I get
Draft
that.
and trade is getting real interesting right now.
Yes, it is. This is so. Even Brock Purdy, give a little bit of information on Brock Purdy's
Do fill us in on your broken
recovery. One of the broke quarterbacks. So Brock.
Well, the only one we know is good because the other one's been broken like since he's been there.
Yeah, Brock. Fuck, he was even broke whenever he was with the Patriots. I don't know why the fuck we took him.
No. I was talking about the one you drafted.
Oh yeah,
That dude's been broke.
we're gonna
pretty
get to
much
that one
since he got
too.
since he got to you.
He got man, you got some bills to pay, man. We put a lot of fucking money into your ass. You better actually start like producing some fucking product. Brock Purdy's surgery has been postponed to March. He was supposed to have it. He was supposed to have it yesterday, yesterday, and they said that he should push it out because of he still has inflammation around his elbow. So I don't know what that's going to push him out. It's going to be recovery time. We're going to have to see what's going to go on with that. But I'm hoping that he's going to be good come preseason, hopefully for the regular season. Peg Leg says there's only 2 college conferences to watch, SEC and the ACC. Sir, I have, I'm going to say no. Because what usually comes out of the SEC and ACC? You have a lot of quarterbacks that come out of the SEC and the ACC. You have some wide receivers. But your bulk of your big offensive linemen, the guys that are supposed to protect those fancy, shiny players, usually come out of the Big 12, Pac-10, the WAC, the Mountain West. You have some of these big, huge corn-fed dudes that you want protecting that quarterback. I think that's been a big thing that I think this draft class, honestly, is going to have a lot of linemen in it. I think you're going to actually see some linemen that are going to be pulled pretty high up in the draft because I think we had an issue with protecting the quarterback this year, not just with the Niners, but throughout the league.
I don't know. My quarterback sucked anyway, so.
So the XFL.
I don't know. Jalen seemed to be pretty well protected.
Patty
Patty Boy seemed to be pretty well protected, even though they'll tell you, Chiefs fans will tell you something different, even though like most of their fucking offensive line made the Pro Bowl. Don't know how that happened with their miserable ass play, apparently.
Exactly. It's like, but apparently the Pro Bowl like lowered their standards.
Yeah, like apparently they're just so bad that the Pro Bowl will take them.
Seymour TTs says the XFL was a joke before. There was more of a you had more production value before. I mean, you had cross promotions that they were worried more so. Like you had advertisement for WWE that they.
It was the real WWE.
Yeah.
Like that was the only thing. Like, dude, like when they were hitting in the NFL, in the XFL when it first came out, when they, you know what I mean, like the fans were sitting in bleachers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like them dudes were rocking heads, bro. Like they were, blah. And don't get me wrong, like they treated it like it was the WWE, and that was the problem. If they would have left the product to be the product of them just knocking each other's heads off and shit, I think it would have been better.
Well, I mean, hell, you even changed the rules. You changed it. It was a different type of ball. You had all kinds of craziness.
Right, because you're not trying to. That's the thing, is that they weren't trying to mimic
Right.
the NFL. We're trying to be better.
Right.
And I think that's what the XFL. I think that's what the NFL is using the XFL for, is new rule changes.
Right.
So using like they're talking like there's a chip in the ball. You know what I mean? Like, and so they're talking about being able for the chip, putting something across the line and putting something with the line from post to post with the.
Oh, so you have a more
markers.
accurate placement of the ball, so where it's
Correct.
not really, you take the human element out of it.
Yes. And so I think you'll see that in the XFL before you see it in the NFL, because the XFL product isn't the NFL product.
Well, we also see this too, that looks like the defenders and the offense, or for the return team and their defense, the kicking team, can't move until the freaking receiver catches it. So whenever they're doing a kickoff,
Right.
they're not allowed to move until the catcher or until the receiving
Right.
team catches the ball, and then you can go.
And then that kind of started where the NFL was like, okay, you can't run until we kick the ball. But it kind of started from that aspect, because they did it last year as well. The XFL did it last year as well, to where you can't move until the dude catches the ball. So the NFL
really
kind of
didn't have
adapted. The NFL kind of adapted that halfway.
They didn't have an XFL last year, buddy.
Well, the previous time that it was out,
I
I remember the rule, because that's what changed the rules in the NFL to where they couldn't run until they do kick the ball.
This is the first season that they've had the XFL in like the last. It's like almost like 15.
There was another league like last year.
USFL. You're talking about that one.
Oh, might be. They're
So-
playing too, aren't they?
Yes, they are. So it says Peg Leg says the Niners need to quit going 4 and 5 deep for a quarterback.
They got to keep a quarterback healthy.
Yeah,
I think what happened to Purdy was
it's the fucking
no. I think what happened to Purdy was, you know what I mean,
Alex
like
Smith curse.
it was a freak accident. We'll say that. Right, I think that's the best way to explain it. It's not anything that was like, Jimmy, like you said, was injury prone when you got him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that was evident. You know what I mean? Like, and his injuries happened from stupidity, like stupid incidents, not like, you know what I mean? Like, what happened to Brock was kind of like a freak thing. It's not a play.
stepped on my foot.
Right. That dude steps on your toe or something and your ankle broke. You know what I mean? Like,
You weak
and
ass.
so, and Trey just seems to be proving the same thing. Like, every time he touches the field, something stupid happens. You know what I mean? Like, and he gets injured. So, like, because that begs the question, bro. Like, is it your team? Like, is it your offensive line? Is it, like, what is it that makes your quarterbacks get smoked like that?
Yeah.
Why are they all... Like, Jimmy, we knew Jimmy was injury prone when he played for the Patriots. So,
Yes.
you know what I mean? Like, and once you're injured, you kind of stay injured, I guess.
But we have a decent freaking offensive line. The problem is we have a
I
tight
think
end.
what happened to Brock was abnormal. Right?
Yes.
That's not something that you can.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, that play has happened 100 times. So for that, like, y'all just have, I guess we'll call it the Alex Smith curse.
We'll call it the Alex Smith curse, or you can call it the Kaepernick curse. I don't know.
No, that dude sucked after Jim Harbaugh left.
Yeah, we'll
I
call it
don't
the
care.
Harbaugh curse. We
I
should
don't
have
care
kept
what it
Harbaugh. I really wish we would have kept Harbaugh. That
I
would
think
have
he's
been.
coming back. I don't think so, because I think all the jobs are taken. There was talk about him leaving Michigan again.
Oh, I think Harbaugh. Because honestly, I think Harbaugh belonged in the NFL. Because I look at going to college from the NFL as a demotion. I really do.
Yeah, but some coaches are up for it because
The play.
it's easier. Like, dude, to convince a bunch
Dude,
of
you
grown
imagine-
ass men, you know what I mean, like, who've been guaranteed money, you know what I mean, like, that they can to play something is hard.
This is just a tap into conspiracy shit, right? So all you conspiracy theorists out there, lend me your ear. They release Harbaugh. Harbaugh goes to Michigan. Harbaugh starts coaching in Michigan.
Yes.
Gets which he's been over there for about 4 years, which ends up being a class, right? Comes back to the NFL after he's already prepped that class, goes back to the Niners. They take some of Michigan's draft class, bring them to the Niners.
Problem. You guys don't have no draft picks.
That fucking...
You gave them up for Trey.
That's Trey's fault.
The guy sitting on the bench
But
with broken shit.
Make it to where like they're lower in the draft. Like
So-
make it to where it's like you're giving like bad information to like the draft class, like, oh, they're really not that good, even though they're excellent fucking players.
Good luck.
It's
Their
reaching.
play will be their play is on the field, bro. So you can tell me whatever you want. He has no work ethic. Don't care. He sacked the quarterback 14 times this year. We're gonna draft that fucker.
So Pegleg also, you being that no, Pegleg doesn't live in Vegas. Timmy Turbo lives in Vegas.
Some more TTs.
Seymour Titis lives in Vegas.
If he wanted to be referred to as Timmy Turbo, it would still be on there.
That's what the T stands for. Timmy Turbo.
Okay, that's fair.
Timmy.
But see more Timmy Turbo.
So I gotta ask. I was gonna see
Show
this,
me over.
the Pro Bowl. The Pro Bowl was in Vegas. I was wondering if he was able to go. If he saw any of that.
He used to bowl 2 leagues a week.
Oh.
Yeah, we
Oh,
couldn't
we
bowl
could
in
not do
a
that.
league,
No, we could not.
let alone twice a week for 2
No,
different
his
leagues.
shoulder. The way he bowls, he can't bowl like normal people. He got to do some little fucking flip move
Look at the flick of my wrist.
because he can't do a full rotation with his shoulder. So,
So, with the trash talk that you just seem to have had given,
it's not given.
uh,
It was facts.
okay.
It was
Well,
no
the trash
talk.
talk of facts that just happened. I ask you this:
Uh-huh.
who won last night?
You won.
Okay.
I was never going to deny that.
Okay, I'm just saying. You can say whatever you want about
Okay.
my bowl, but my bowl beat
I
your
said
ass.
that the fact you had some weird freaking rotation of your freaking because
That's
you
fine.
can't rotate all the way back with your shoulder. I didn't say it was bad. I think you're feeling self-conscious.
No, you were talking trash about my.
Who the fuck called you? I said talking trash. I said, is it fucking weird? Let's define weird. Something abnormal. Is that the way you bowl? Is it abnormal? Is it contrary
At
to
this-
the
at
normal
this
way of
point in
people bowl?
juncture, I think everybody can recognize that I am like the standard of definition of weird. Nothing I do is normal.
So therefore, it wasn't throwing shots. It wasn't talking shit about the way that you bowl. It was giving a fact.
Okay. Check the ticker. 1344 is the max you would ever have to pay them.
So, let's see. It'll push him out to mid-September probably. Yes, as long as they don't go in there and they realize that he's going to end up having to have Tommy John surgery. If they go in there and they realize that it's worse than what the MRI end up showing, then we're kind of screwed.
Well, at that point, though, I don't feel bad for the Niners. Like, they're just going to move on. I feel bad for Purdy.
Yeah, I feel bad for Purdy.
That dude had a... I think it was an open competition.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if they're both healthy,
Yes.
I think it's an open competition.
Yes.
And I think Purdy beat out Trey Lance.
I think so too. Well, we have nothing to base Trey Lance off of. He didn't play that long before he got hurt.
They would have practice. You know what I mean? Like, so OTAs and all that.
Right.
I think Brock would have beat out Trey.
So it says you want a good offensive guard. 49ers should look at Octopus Torrance. Osiris Torrance. Osiris? Wow, that's why does it sound like he's like 70 years old? Osiris.
Osiris. Does
J-
sound like he should be in the next Aquaman movie.
Yeah, definitely. Jalen Carter couldn't get by him.
If I knew who either one of those people were, I'd probably be a better person.
Offensive lines need to be no smaller than Lawrence Taylor type big. Okay.
Just the way you phrase shit.
Yeah.
TTs.
So I know Lawrence Taylor, so that's LT, but the thing is like you're gonna like no smaller. Yeah, LT was kind of small. Michigan isn't going to let him leave. Actually,
Yeah, I think all their jobs are full too now.
true. You guys.
Well, there was a
your head
conversation
coach ends
going
up being
Denver.
our freaking old defensive coordinator.
That's because we are intelligent.
Well, also he used to play for y'all.
Yes. That is why I'm super excited to have him.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, and that's why like they promised him 6 years, or they signed him the 6 year deal.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, which is good. And I don't think if the organization is smart, which they're not. You know what I mean? Like the owner dude is fucking weird. He brought in Jack Easterby, so our preacher was also our GM. I don't understand it. Whatever. Praise the Lord. You know what I mean? Like if they keep their nose clean, let the GM and D'Amico do whatever it is that they do. You know what I mean? Like, the Houston fan base is very comparable, right? Like, so we can deal with mediocrity. That's what we've been dealing with since it started. We're just happy to be here. You know what I mean? Like, we're that kind of fan base. We're just happy to be here. You know what I mean? Like,
we're just happy we have a
so
stadium, we have a football team.
I think he's got a good 3. I think he's got a good 3 years. You know what I mean? Like, to set everything up. I don't think we have any. Do I want to win earlier? Sure. Do I think he can win earlier? Sure. But honestly, I'm giving you 3 years before I'm even expecting anything.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, so anything within the 3 years of him getting us somewhere, if we make the playoffs within the first 3 years of him being here, wow. If we don't make the playoffs after the first 3 years of him being here, now we have a problem.
Have you guys ever made the playoffs?
Yes. But it was mainly because the rest of our division sucked.
Pegleg says he lives in southern Colorado. Okay.
Down there by Pueblos? Pueblos?
They probably get some
Over
snow.
there by Rocky Mountain Steel?
They're probably getting some snow.
Pueblos?
So-
By Colorado Springs?
Seymour, yeah, apparently because if you say Colorado, Justin assumes it's just Denver.
No, that's not what I assumed.
That is what you assumed.
That is what I assumed on that one thing, yes.
It's on that low, that's what you assumed, and you
Yes.
found out that
And it went to Grand Junction. It was a few hundred miles short or longer than what I thought it would be. I don't know what made me think that load.
LT was a linebacker. Did I say he wasn't a linebacker?
No, we were just saying we were confused by your statement there. But
LT was a linebacker.
they
So,
got to
yeah,
be
Lawrence Taylor was a
LT
linebacker.
type of big.
Yeah, so like you can't linemen shouldn't be that small.
We know who LT was.
Yes, so linemen shouldn't be that small. I agree. Linemen should be big suckers, but the thing is,
I call them a meat locker.
yeah. So that they're. Have you seen? I mean, look at Kelsey. Or the center. His brother Kelsey is a freaking. If you looked at how he looked when he was playing in Cincinnati, compared to whenever he was in, or he's been playing with Philly, he got fatter. Like they feed those dudes like chick. I'm pretty sure they have an entire damn aviary just to feed that whole freaking offensive line. Like, hey, you get a chicken, you get a chicken, you get a chicken, you get a chicken, you get a turkey. It's like that's exactly the way that those dudes, like how much calories that they put in.
Yeah.
Good Lord, those toilets have got to be huge.
So now, right, we've gone through some of that. But I do believe presently the big question, where's Aaron Rodgers going?
Oh.
Since we're on this topic,
Since we're on this topic.
where's Aaron Rodgers go?
Aaron Rodgers. I have narrowed it down to two. I narrowed it down to two
teams. Which are?
Vegas and San Fran.
Okay. So let's start with San Fran.
Okay.
What in the world makes you think he's going there?
So with us, we know we're leaving. We know we're getting rid of Jimmy.
Bye, Jimmy.
Jimmy, go bye-bye. So we
Okay.
know we're getting rid of Jimmy. I think that with the prospect of having one, you have Trey Lance, you have Brock Purdy. Trey Lance obviously is going to be healthy, but I think that you need to have somebody that is a veteran enough to actually be able to help these dudes, or to actually show to provide an example, because I know that Aaron Rodgers doesn't want to be that mentor. He's said
Right.
it before.
That's problem number one.
So he doesn't want to be that mentor just because, one, I think because Brett Favre basically fucked him and said, like, no, I'm not. Why am I going to have to be this dude's mentor? I have to play blah, 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 blah.
It doesn't make any sense to me, man. Like, you didn't like it, so why would you do somebody else like that?
Right. So he doesn't want to be somebody's mentor, but I think that, one, San Francisco is fucking hungry, man. You have we have gone to the fucking playoffs. We've gone to the Super Bowl. We have to get over that cusp. I want to have that 7th fucking championship.
Let me ask you this. Brock Purdy doesn't get hurt in that game. Do you win that game?
Yes.
Brock Purdy wins that game, goes on to the Super Bowl. What are the odds the 49ers win that game?
I think the odds are pretty fucking good.
Do you think if we replace Brock Purdy with Trey Lance, the odds are just in the same favor?
I don't know because it was hard. I didn't see.
Just by guesstimation.
It's hard to even guesstimate because you didn't really see Trey Lance do anything.
Right. But do you think it's possible?
I think that because
like scheme-wise, because scheme-wise you have a good scheme.
Right.
So if he could execute that scheme,
right,
do you think you could win the Super Bowl with Trey Lance?
I think both Trey and Brock had the same issue. And you saw it with Brock whenever he got in the beginning phases of the game, he got into like high pressure situations, he got really jumpy. Trey Lance was the same way. Trey,
but they settled down.
Once they settled down, they're decent. I think Brock Purdy ends up being better than Trey Lance.
But if either one of those is a possibility, the fuck you need Aaron for? Because what year is this for Trey Lance?
You need, if anything is showing us, our quarterbacks have a hard time staying healthy, whether that be through
that begs the question, why the fuck would he want to go there?
Because I think that the best
like you can't keep me healthy, bro.
The best chance for him to get a ring or another ring,
that I wouldn't disagree with. I think the best team he could get on would be the 49ers.
But
that is by conception of understanding.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like what would be the best landing spot for Aaron Rodgers? And I will agree that would have to be the 49ers. Yeah. But logically, you would have to pay him $50 million a year. How many years is this for Trey Lance?
Fuck.
He's going in his third year.
He's going in his third. We're going into the third year with
Trey. So you bring in Aaron for the next 2 at $50 million.
No. We're going into Trey's second year.
No, because the first year he studied under Jimmy. The second year was this year where he was supposed to start and Jimmy was going to back him up, but he got hurt.
Oh, that's right.
So this is him going into year 3.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so you already have to pick up his 5th year option before you let him hit the field again.
Right.
Because you're bringing in Aaron for the next 2.
Right. For at least
so he's basically Jordan Love on the 49ers if Aaron goes there. So you would want to get rid of Trey. You would, if you're going to re-sign anybody, I would make it Brock Purdy. Give him another year to get right. And then halfway through the season,
I think Brock Purdy really showed out.
Brock Purdy would be the one that I would keep, and I would try to trade Trey Lance. But trading Trey Lance is going to come at a cost because he's not really any value because nobody knows.
We put so much fucking money onto that gamble, that motherfucker.
So question number 2, because you said the interesting one that I've heard a lot of people say.
And the Raiders.
Why the Raiders?
So, with them not having Carr, which I think is stupid.
I don't, but go
on. With the way they did Carr is fucking dirty.
I don't think so, but carrying on.
So,
why do you think Aaron should go there?
So, I think Aaron going there just because, one, they don't have a quarterback right now.
Right.
I think that they could put a really good bid in to get, because the one they freed themselves up from the Carr situation, which was $50 million.
Which now you're $40 million.
Sorry, $40
which you're willing to pay $10 million more to Aaron Rodgers.
To Aaron Rodgers.
Plus trade.
So I think that him going there would actually give the Raiders a good opportunity to get to the playoffs.
How? Because there's one big name on that team that everybody brings up that says it would be smart for him to go there.
Adams, or with Davante Adams?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my question is, if Davante really wanted to play with Aaron, why the fuck didn't he stay in Green Bay? Like everybody's like, oh, he already has that chemistry with him. He already has this.
He wanted to actually. I think he wanted to play with Carr.
Right. So you think as soon as the opportunity presents itself to leave the Raiders, you don't think Davante Adams is? You think Aaron Rodgers is enough to keep him there when Aaron Rodgers wasn't enough to keep his ass in Green Bay?
But
so he's going to go wherever Carr is.
Yeah.
Like
Now
whoever
to find out
whoever
where
signs
Carr's gonna
Carr,
go.
as soon as Devontae becomes available, he's coming. I can guarantee it. And I can
This is turning
guarantee
into Brady and Gronk.
but and I can guarantee that he'll take lower money too to play with him to prove if the Raiders would have kept him. You know what I mean? Like they would have won.
So let's get into some of these before we bounce out of here. Damn. Linemen also die early too. Fuck. Yeah, because they're So retirement for Aaron, I don't think so.
I don't think so either. I think he wants to play.
Yeah.
I think the smartest place for him to play is in Green Bay. To be honest with you, he doesn't need to go anywhere. Just stay where the fuck you're at. A lot of people are saying the Jets. You know what I mean? Like, just stay where you're at, Aaron.
Pegleg is saying
start and finish, man.
Going to Miami.
That's been rumored too because I don't think I think if anybody was intelligent, they would tell Tua to stop playing fucking football.
Yes. Aaron will probably go to Denver. I doubt it. They're too
I don't
invested
see that
in
either.
Russell right now.
Right, yeah. Why would Green Bay, like, because even if you went trade for trade, why would Green
He
Bay?
knew exactly what our response was. Yes, I know Wilson's in Denver. It's like, yeah, but the thing is...
It's not about Wilson. It's about what you paid him.
Right. So
You know what I mean? Like,
too
what you owe
invested.
him isn't valued at what?
They are pot dedicated right now with...
If you take the contract and make the contract even to Aaron's, we could have a conversation.
Yeah.
But ain't nobody paying Russell Wilson
No.
money right now.
Lance looked good in college. Look, motherfuckers. Where the fuck did this dude go to college?
I have
North
no idea.
Dakota. Who the fuck are they playing in North Dakota to make you think that this dude is as good as what he fucking was?
Oh, no, it wasn't there.
So this is my whole big thing with this. He should not have been that high in the fucking draft class. There's no fucking way.
The media...
Because he was pushed media-wise.
You were very upset by this.
Because this is dumb. He wasn't from the SEC. He wasn't from the Pac-12. He wasn't from the Big 12. None of that. He wasn't from the ACC. He was from a fucking bumfuck nowhere.
Right.
How the hell can you judge this dude on how well he plays when he didn't have a fucking... You motherfuckers played Wyoming.
Hey, that's where Carson Wentz went.
So the thing is,
That's where I thought Carson Wentz was from, was North Dakota, but it's actually Wyoming.
But to be that high in the fucking draft class, what the hell does that say about the rest of the draft classes? Fucking garbage.
Right, but that's where, what's his name came from? Carson Wentz came from, was Wyoming, out in the middle of fucking nowhere where everybody thought he would be good and shit like that. Look, man, people try to hit in places where, but you're right, though. Like, he definitely shouldn't have went second or third
No,
in
he
the
should
draft.
not have gone that high in the fucking draft class. Who
would you have rather drafted?
He has not been tried. We had no really no other fucking choice.
You didn't have to go up to 3, that's for sure.
I really wish, because he was in the same draft class as Lawrence.
Trevor went first, so you didn't have an opportunity for him.
I would have loved to
because
have
Jacksonville
Trevor
wasn't coming off the first.
No,
pick
I would have loved
because they wanted Trevor.
I would have loved to have Trevor Lawrence.
Right, but I think Trevor's going to be better now with what's his name over there. You know what I mean? Like, so I think he's gonna. I think Jacksonville will be a much better team next year, which means again I'm going to get my ass stomped. Yeah. But it is what it is. You know what I mean? Like, again, not mad. Go get it.
He says look good in college. Okay, look good in freaking he looked good in high school too. But I think he's a second stringer. Yeah, I think so, especially after Brock Purdy. But I think that it goes,
which is crazy because Purdy came out the 7th round, the last draft pick of the NFL last year.
So I wonder
who you drafted 3rd the year before that is going to be his backup.
I wonder how
that is nuts.
I wonder how they're going to fucking look at the last pick of the draft this year.
And the Niners don't have any trade capital to give.
No, because we gave it all up for fucking trade
for your backup.
So it said Aaron could go to the Jets.
I think that's foolish though. Like, to be honest, like, I think it's foolish to go to the Jets. And a lot of people have said it too, man. Aaron hates the criticism he gets now out of Green Bay.
Right.
What happens when you go to the fucking Jets, bro?
Oh, fuck yeah.
Dear Aaron, don't do it to yourself.
So
I'm sure you're out of the dark by now.
The last comment of the night, Show Me More TTs says, we don't want Rodgers here in Vegas. I would have to TP his house on Halloween.
That would be appreciated too.
Yeah. That's so that man, that this is.
I don't think he goes there. I really don't. Everybody says it because McDaniels and this and that, and like I really don't think the Devontae thing is what's going to attract him to go there, especially since Devontae left him. You know what I mean? Like, why would I want to go somewhere? Like, if you left me, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not fucking going where you are. Like, if you left me and went to another platform, like, I'm not going to that platform. Like, that would be stupid.
I will never leave you.
I know. So we don't have that problem.
Which makes it seem like this relationship is a lot different than what it fucking is. We're not like that.
I'm just saying, though. Like, and I don't count the, you know what I mean? Like, 'cause I'm good with the unapologetic cats. You know what I mean? Like, so I understand that platform. You know what I mean? Like, but it's like, oh, I'm not going to do this with you anymore, Justin. I'm going to go do this with this guy. You know what I mean? Like, don't think I'm coming on as a special guest. You know, like, it's not going to happen. And there's nothing in Vegas that makes it seem logical. Like, I understand why people think the Jets is a logical place because they have, you know what I mean, like a lot of young talent and a lot of all that. It's the same as I don't think that's a good place for Carr to land either. No. You know what I mean? Like, it's the Jets. Aaron could go there, but I think it's stupid. You know what I mean? Like, because he has he has the same logical things minus the defense. The defense has a lot of good young talent that their defense doesn't quite have, right. But offensive talent, which is the only thing that he fucking deals with. You know what I mean? Like, he's in the same boat, except you got to learn new dudes. Right. You know what I mean? Like, so he's got a bunch of young receivers that he made relationships with last year, right. But now you got to go to the Jets and make new. Like, doesn't make any logical sense.
I would say this: if you had to come back as a special guest, I would just wave a chip or a hot pear in front of you.
Oh. I wouldn't do it for you. I wouldn't do it for you. Not after you kick me off.
On that
like,
day,
no.
We will.
Not after you kick me off. If that was the start, that's fine. You know what I mean? Like, but after the separation, you're not suckering me in to do dumb shit. No. We're not friends anymore.
All right.
And you definitely couldn't do it from my house. Like, yeah, I got this cat coming over and just got to sit out in my living room and listen to you talk with your friend. Like, fuck that.
All right.
Go back to watching you two motherfuckers in a truck.
Sorry. Last one to say, I would love to see him stay in Green Bay. Hutch has got his number. All right, man. We're going to get out of here. Ooh. We will see you guys next week on FUBAR. Make sure you guys please stay tuned to Tune In Tuesdays.
Yes.
So hopefully this week coming up, we're going to have TB, which we heard some of his music that he had.
Yes.
So this is going to
be... He played me a song.
So Asa, is pretty damn good. So he's gonna come in here with his plaques or his freaking records, bringing up his platinums on either side.
That's what he said.
I said, I want to see him. It better not be wrapped in tinfoil, man.
This is Missouri. Show me, son.
All right, guys. So hopefully you guys stay safe. We will see you next week on FUBAR.
But we didn't talk.